Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson-Silik, and we've got an all-new show for you this week. I'll take you out walleye fishing on the river, but it might not be the river you think. You'll have to stay tuned to see where we're fishing. In the meantime, Jimmy and the boys have some awesome turkey hunting action for us this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Gabe, Jordan, and myself were able to get out last week and do a little turkey hunting. We had a crossbow and a longbow. You won't want to miss this story. Lots of good turkey action. Great way to start off the season. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's destination since 1988. Featuring varieties of homemade sausage, jerky, brats, and gourmet entrees. Holiday gift boxes can be assembled in-store or online. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By AnglerQuest Pontoons, a mid-Michigan company building boats for fishermen by fishermen. AnglerQuest Pontoons are designed for comfort and functionality. On the web at anglerquestpontoons.com.
Soaking in the rich tradition of Michigan hunting for over 30 years. Vanguard is proud to sponsor our friends at Michigan Out of Doors TV.
Well, we are pretty excited. I know I am excited. It's the first week of the turkey season. We're a couple days into the season, and we're here in Nashville, Michigan with our good buddy Jeff Hines. I've hunted this property, I think, one time for deer. Beautiful piece of property. And Gabe's here, Jordan's here. We were hoping that Jenny could be here, but she couldn't quite make it. But we're going to do a little kind of all Michigan Out of Doors hunt tomorrow. Jordan's already tagged out, and I'm going to be using a crossbow tomorrow. And my kids have shot lots of critters with crossbows, but I have not shot anything with a crossbow before. So I'm kind of excited to try that. Got this brand new 10-point that we're going to use. Excited about that. Been shooting it, kind of know what it does at several different distances. But yeah, we're kind of excited. There's birds on this property. And we thought about maybe roosting some birds tonight, but we weren't sure. We didn't want to get in there and booger anything up, so we're just going to kind of sit tight. Sun's going down right now. We're going to listen. We've got about 100 acres here, maybe a little bit more, and we're going to hit it in the morning. We are excited. We're going to be staying in this beautiful pole barn. It's got a RV in the middle of it, so we're going to sleep in that. And yeah, turkey camp in Nashville, Michigan. It's not Music City, but hopefully it's Turkey City.
He's on the ground. I'm sitting in a blind today. I don't usually like sitting in a blind, but I'm hunting with my longbow. And out here on this property, Jimmy is about one ridge over, and he's hunting with a crossbow. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Crossbow, longbow. I'm sitting in a really good spot. Apparently they cross through here quite a bit. We're hunting on a good friend's property, and there's lots and lots of turkeys in here. And we always like to hunt together. It's a lot of fun to hunt together as a crew. So I hope Jimmy and Jordan are having the same amount of action over where they are.
sitting right there. These birds were roosted maybe 100, 150 yards from us. They came right in within range, but some brush in the way, and they were moving so fast. They never really stopped to give me a shot. If I'd had a shotgun, it'd have been a pretty easy shot, but I needed them to stop for just a second. They rolled right through here, and then we called them back in, but the longbeard came right behind us. I mean, within 8 or 10 steps, right behind the camera. We couldn't spin around. And these 2 jakes came in and gave us a pretty good show. But I don't know, we'll see if we can get on that longbeard again, but what a great morning. Couple more setups after that first one, trying to kind of call those birds back in. No luck. We're still hearing some birds gobbling, so we don't want to bump them. It's real hilly right here, so a lot of ups and downs, and so they could sound further away than they are, so we're just trying to be real cautious. We hear some birds gobbling, kind of in the direction where Gabe is hunting. He's stationary in a blind, but we're gonna keep moving, see if we can get lucky and bump into some more birds. But what a gorgeous morning, man.
These turkeys are just skirting around the side of me. I can hear them right back here, and if I pull the window down, I can see them back in that field, but they're just strutting back and forth, back and forth. They can see if they could ever see the decoys, I think they'll come. But they can't see the decoys right now. I'll just keep calling softly and see if they'll come. They're gobbling at everything.
Well, after watching these birds most of the morning, they finally saw Gabe's decoys and were headed straight in. Well, after a swing and a miss, Gabe was able to knock another arrow and get a second shot at these birds, and after a little bit of a track job, he was able to find his nice tom. What happened? Boy, that's a nice big bird.
Yeah, he came. They started roosted. They were roosted way back there.
Okay.
He went all the way around, came all the way behind the blind, and I have no way to shoot that way or videotape that way.
Okay.
So they stood up on that hill for half an hour, 45 minutes. And I'm assuming Jeff is up there watching the whole thing or heard some of it, because then they came right down and they walked right past the blind. They almost touched the blind as they walked past.
Wow.
And I got footage. I was trying to lean the camera over to get footage. And so I'm holding my bow like this, leaning the camera over, and got footage. And then I leaned it back and got my thing on the string. I drew back and I wasn't paying attention. And I whacked the limb on the top of the blind and shot right over his back.
Oh, no.
And they just stood there. They didn't have any clue
So they
what
were at,
happened.
what, 5 paces here?
Yeah, they might have been 5 paces, if that. I'm using this. It takes a little bit to, for me to hit them. It takes them real close.
So you missed the first one. Then what happened after that?
He just stood there. They were strutting. I don't remember if he was strutting. He was not strutting. And I think he went back into strut, and then I had a perfect quartering away shot. It was even better than the first shot.
Nice.
And so plugged it right in there, and he ran right over here. And yeah.
Well, what a fun hunt. Gabe did a heck of a job to do that with a camera and a longbow. Congrats. Well, we did hunt the rest of the day, even all the way up to roosting some birds that night, but weren't able to have any success. So, a couple days later, I hit the woods by myself a little closer to home to see if I couldn't get something going here in West Michigan. Okay, well, I got kind of a late start this morning. Had to get the kids off to school, got them on the bus, and then headed out to the turkey woods. And I'm in a pretty good spot over the years where this has been a pretty productive section of this property. I know birds have been roosting in and around here, but it's about 9:30, something like that. So birds have come down, kind of done their thing, and hopefully they're kind of spreading out a little bit. I'm going to sit tight here I'm hoping for about 3 hours, and should get something maybe wandering back through this part of the property. I'm next to a big field. I know they roosted in here. They usually go out to that field, mess around for a little while, and then kind of filter back into the woods, and hopefully I'll catch a tom leaving some hens and kind of looking for some new ones. So fingers crossed, we'll see. Seeing if I can get down with the crossbow. I would have tagged out had I had a shotgun, but sticking with the old 10-point today, and would love to send an arrow after him. I just heard a gobble. I don't know, maybe 100 yards, 150 yards. It's hard to tell with this wind, but there's toms nearby. I don't know if I'm gonna call a little bit more and see what happens. But there's birds around. These two nice longbeards read the script perfectly and were headed right to my decoy setup. Oh, what a fun hunt that was. Oh my word. Been here about an hour, had one set up, moved a little bit, didn't like that. And I don't know what kind of footage I got because I just kind of let the camera roll. But man, this 10-point, I've been hunting with a crossbow with my kids for years. They've all killed deer, a couple turkeys with them. I've never shot anything with a crossbow yet. And this 10-point, this new stealth, man, this thing is so small and compact that what I didn't like about crossbows in the past was walking through the woods was really kind of cumbersome because I was always hitting stuff. But these are so narrow even when they're not cocked, but when they're cocked, they're really narrow. And man, it did a number on that. Shooting that Montec head out of there, man, it just zipped them good. Let's go check them out. Oh, that was awesome. Again, getting it done with a crossbow, that was something different. Nice. Boy, he's got a big old rope on him. Nice bird. What a great hunt. Well, that was a lot of fun. It was great to be with the guys and have a little bit of a turkey camp this year, and then it was fun to kind of be off by yourself and get it done. What a great start to the turkey season.
When it comes to springtime fishing on the rivers for walleye here in the southern part of the state, lots of us tend to think of the Detroit River, but Port Huron and the St. Clair River are another great option as well. On a chilly April morning, I hit the water in Port Huron with good friends Franz Neruda and Mike Shea. These two are a regular staple on the water most of the year, and they know where to find the fish. This morning, we were after some of those springtime walleye.
The water temperature's finally starting to come up. We're right around 42, 43 degrees. The report that we got yesterday is that guys were doing real well in the lake. A lot of guys were out there today and they struggled. But that's fishing. I mean, one day they're here, one day they're not. I go down to the Detroit River 2 or 3 times a year because I have a lot of my friends, as you know, that fish down there. And so you get a phone call. That way I don't even have to haul my boat. All I have to do is bring a pole and some baits, and we go down and we fish the Detroit River also. It's good fishing here. A friend of mine that's not around anymore, Bob, used to say you never leave fish to catch fish. So if you've got fish up here, there's no reason to go down to Detroit. But it is a great alternative to, to going, and driving down to Detroit. Marine City's starting to turn on right now. The North Channel is starting to turn on right now. So you got Algonac, Marine City, Marysville starting to turn on. And fishing is just going to get better here for the rest, the rest of the season.
After a quick try on the Michigan side of Lake Huron, just north of the Blue Water Bridges, the guys moved to the Canadian side, where Mike connected with the first fish of the day.
The Black River's at crest mode right now, and with all the rain we've had recently, and it just pours into the St. Clair River, muddies it up, and makes real tough fishing. So the lake calm, cleared up a little bit, a little bluish green out here. We'll give her a try today.
You guys aren't going to be alone over here for long, are you?
No, I didn't get the net up.
All right. Found them anyways, eh?
Nice size eater for the table. Not too big, not too small. In the box she goes.
All right. Both Mike and Franz were on the board, and we had 2 fish in the box. Most local anglers in Port Huron and Sarnia will buy both a Michigan and a Canadian license, which works out on days like these. They had tried the Michigan side of the lake here at the mouth of the St. Clair River with no luck, and moved over to the Canadian side, where they found a couple.
Today we went out jigging, vertical jigging for walleyes, up here in Port Huron. We went out in the lake first. It was a pretty tough bite. So we fished up there, did a few drifts up there, caught a few fish, but not anything spectacular. One of the biggest issues is that fishing right now is Black River is so filthy, and it's pouring out. And I think that you probably got some pictures of that where it's coming in and mixing in, and that's one of the reasons we went to the Canadian side. The lake wasn't really producing today, so we decided we'd go down into St. Clair River. The bite picked up.
The bite picked up for sure. There are a bunch of little holes on the Canadian side of the river that hold fish, so Franz moved into one and got to work.
There we go.
Nice fish. Hey, there we go. We just had to switch it up a little, eh?
Yeah, just make a change. You gotta make a change sometimes. We fished the Canadian side. We didn't do anything on the American side. Everything we caught today was on the Canadian side. We didn't do well up, up in the lake, so we moved down to the river to a couple of spots that we know down there, and the bite started slow, but then it picked up, and then we ended up with our limit.
Franz and Mike were on their way to their 6 fish limits. Fishing next to us this morning were Scott Jocks and my husband Matt, who were fishing with our friend Justin Ringler. It seemed like everyone out here on the Canadian side of the river was enjoying a successful morning on the water. We had a front row seat as Justin hauled in a nice one. If you're planning to fish Ontario waters, Franz says to be sure you're familiar with a new regulation regarding minnows and any bait fish you bring over to the Canadian waters.
One of the things that a lot of guys tip with minnows, guys need to understand is that I've had a number of my friends that have been stopped over on the Canadian side, is that guys have to remember is that the minnows that they take over there have to be dead, or they have to be purchased over there. Okay. So the thing is that they will write you a ticket. They say, they've let a lot of guys go so far, but they said they are going to start writing tickets on that.
Okay, so kill your bait fish before you head over?
Make sure that they're frozen or dead, or the thing is that you got to buy them over there.
Some good information if you plan to fish with minnows in Canadian waters this year. Franz was working through another hole over here and picking away at the walleyes. Most everyone around us was boating fish as well. Another word to the wise: if you're struggling to catch fish while everyone around you is netting them left and right, it may be your boat control. We've all heard that we need to have a vertical presentation to catch walleyes, and it's true.
boat control and stuff like that, you need to stay vertical. I mean, and it's hard to do in the wind and with the current, especially the way the current is today, you know, with Black River and with all the rain that we've had. But you have to stay vertical.
Recent years have produced an incredible number of fish in the system, and it's only getting better in the St. Clair River.
A lot of the fish that we get here are coming, actually fish that are all the way down in Erie and are migrating up. An example is I've caught fish that have been jaw tagged up at the Dow Dam, you know, and have come all the way Saginaw Bay all the way down here. I've caught fish that have been jaw tagged that have been in Erie, and I've caught them all the way back up here. Well, like a lot of guys understand is that everybody starts off in Trenton Channel. The Trenton Channel, Detroit River, St. Clair River, and as it moves on. And the thing is that because of the fish, the way they migrate up, I mean, we're always 4 weeks behind Trenton Channel, 2 weeks behind the Detroit River, and then, you know, then it's here.
Nice. That makes a limit for you?
Limit for today.
Sweet.
All the same size, all the same spot.
Beautiful.
I fish all summer long for them jigging, and we do real well. And the heck of it is I'll go all the way till December. Usually our last day that we fished last year was December 20th, and we got a limit of fish.
It's a common story these days to hear of anglers catching a limit of walleye, and while most will focus their attention on the incredible Detroit River bite, there are many who live near Port Huron and Sarnia who are doing the same just a little closer to home. Wherever you choose to fish this spring, please remember to be safe and respect fishing and boating regulations as you enjoy our great renewable resources here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Good luck to everybody who still has a turkey tag left to fill this spring. Speaking of turkey hunting, in upcoming weeks we'll be showing you some more turkey hunting action. We'll also take a look at a brand new rifle caliber that's good to use in the limited firearm zone here in the lower part of the state. All sorts of great things headed your way in upcoming weeks. If you'd like to know where we are and where we're headed next, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right. Online is a great way to kind of keep tabs on us. Of course, we're at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com. Full episodes of the show there, most of the social media platforms as well. And if you're ever on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel there and get an email every time we post something new. Lots of good stuff coming over the next several weeks. I know I say this a lot, but this is a great time of the year to be a sportsman here in the state of Michigan. If we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or greenstonefcs.com. By EOTech, a Michigan company, equipping law enforcement and sportsmen alike with quality optics, creating jobs for Michigan workers. On the web at eotechgear.com. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. With its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses, Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. Closed captioning provided by Randy's Hunting Center, serving Michigan as Ruger and Leupold's National Dealer of the Year, and inventor of Ruger's 450 Bushmaster rifle.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love